So now Sean Hannity is trying to look very moderate. And he said the other day that he's now for immigration reform and pathway to citizenship, something of that order. He flip flopped. And to me, it wasn't very genuine. You're going to have to say that at least. Because he had ample opportunity before the election results to change his mind. Oh, but lo and behold, Jesus Christ came down, show him the light, and now he changed his mind after the election results. Oh, isn't that a coincidence? So does that make him better? I don't know what does that mean for me. Well, nothing because I'm a citizen. But the thing is that people like Sean Hannity will do anything. Now these are the new Republicans. A few of them, not the entire party. I don't think they are the majority yet. They are trying to tap dance their way back to legitimacy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they'll do anything for a buck now. They'll do anything for a fucking vote. They'll go on Fox News, which is basically, who's going to listen to Fox News? I mean, who really watches that network? White people. Let's just say that. Oh yeah, we should have immigration reform. We should have all this. But it wasn't that long ago that Sean Hannity was a hawk against immigration. And so was Bill O'Reilly. So is Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly was really hawkish and is hawkish. If you recall that big argument that he had with Geraldo over that illegal immigrant that was drunk driving, I forgot what the name of the clip was, but maybe I should play it. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. To find it. Too lazy. Sorry, I've been working all day. Now I come here at night. I'm trying to do this show, but no. But you can find it on YouTube. You can Bill O'Reilly fight Geraldo or Bill O'Reilly fight immigration, and you'll see it. It's very popular. It's a very popular clip. It went viral, and he got really mad. I mean, other things to be mad about, to really pump your heart at, to really get your blood pressure rolling, is this immigration thing. Now, here's the deal. If you're here illegally and you're going to commit a crime, then you should pay the consequences. Not only should you be deported, but you should be thrown in jail for the crime. But if you are an innocent person and you are committed to the ideals of this country, and you're not just here to milk the country, but to really help the country, then, yeah, we should have a pathway for citizenship. I see nothing wrong with that. We can have somebody else. I mean, that will be in addition to our economy. Got to look in terms of that. There are people that are willing to pay taxes, willing to pay into the Social Security system, stuff like that we need right now. I mean, we need new income. So I really much advocate for that. But that doesn't mean it's because you want to get votes. It's just simple, common sense policy. And so if you're worried about the wages going down because of this, then all you have to do is legalize everybody. And that way there is no problem with that. Now, you're worried about, well, if we allow this to happen, more people will want to come to the U.S. because they think that they can get a free meal ticket, well, it's not going to be really free. Obviously, we're going to charge them a fine for that. I think we should. If that's not really on the table, we should have a fine for those who are illegal. Pay the fine and you'll get a green card. That's how it should be. And also, we can strengthen the border. Now, the border, the real problem with the border is not the illegal immigrants. It's all that trafficking going on, all that cartel operation that some people that have government connections are engaged in. Moving the guns from the U.S. down to Mexico and then the drugs from Mexico to the U.S. That's the trade, the drug trade that we have at the border. We have a serious problem at the border. Nobody wants to talk about it. Joe Arpaio here in Arizona and the doofus fascist governor that we have here in Arizona, all they care about is these illegal immigrants who all want... The only thing they want to do is have a fucking job, another opportunity, a better opportunity than what they had in their home country. And believe me, if we treat them right, they'll be a good asset to this country. They will be loyal to this country. Don't you want loyalty? You patriotic Americans? You patriotic conservatives? Or is it a race thing? Like some people are speculating. And you know what really also is bothering me right now? This just came to my head. That the bishops of the Catholic Church, they're saying that people should vote for Republicans. Well, first of all, you shouldn't be in this arena. You shouldn't be telling people how to vote because you are a church. You're way better than politics. Shouldn't you be way better than politics? Shouldn't you be above politics if you're a spiritual institution? Right? I mean, I never heard about this before. Like, I never heard the Presbyterians doing this, or the Anglicans, or the Pentecostalists. Even the Pentecostalists are more conservative. I'm also a Jehovah's Witness, and the only thing that I really like about that church, cult actually, was that they hated politics, and they actually said nobody should be involved in politics. It's really bad. Yeah, I should have taken that advice. But they said that politics is corrupt, and but actually they had a really bad reason too. It's because it's ruled by Satan. Come on, please. But the Catholic Church, they were telling Catholics not to vote for Democrats, and the problem with that is a lot of Democrats who do support immigration reform are going to help these immigrants who you want to help too, you Catholic Church. That's the greatest betrayal of all right now. The betrayal of 2012. You want to know what that is? That's the Catholic Church that betrayed Catholic immigrants. Somebody should write an article about this. Where is that article, by the way? Where is it so I can read it on the air? Where is that article? Has anybody written an article? How about Fox Latino? Have you written this article? Univision. Oh, Univision is owned by Cubans. We don't want to go there, do they? No, they don't. They don't really give a shit about this. They get green cards once they float across the Caribbean and they land at Miami. Then they get free green cards. Who, they don't give a shit. So where are those articles? Nowhere. And that's what really pisses me off about these immigrant activists. Some of them are genuine and they care about these people. Some of them don't. I met some of these like really hardcore La Raza immigrant activists. Some of them are gay, and then they're like, it's all about getting our Arpaio, getting at these Republicans. I don't really care about that. Why don't we have the policies that really work? And then guess what? If you put somebody in there, you replace them with some Democrat who doesn't give a shit, especially a Mexican Democrat. That's even worse. And let me tell you why. Because I was living in a jurisdiction of Democrats, where I used to live. Mexican Democrats, in the legislature and in Congress. That was my district. I had this Congresswoman, Loretta Sanchez. The biggest betrayal. She did nothing for the immigrants. Nothing. And they always tout this. They always say, oh, I'm going to help my people and all that shit. Seriously. That's the biggest flaw of the Latino community, especially Mexicans. And I always say this to my people, to Mexicans. I always say this, the biggest threat to the Mexican community, to our race, is not really other people, like other races, white people or anything like that. That might be a problem if you have racists. But the real problem The real problems, the real headaches, the people who really hate us are within our community, are other Mexicans. You know, all this envy and competition. Oh, I have a better car than you, a bigger house, or a sexier wife than you do. I mean, I see this all the time in my people. And my people we need to stop doing that shit now. Enough with the competition. Enough with this destructive, anguished jealousy that's going on. Everybody's so fucking jealous. Oh, he got a better car than I do. Oh, he put those rims in those cars. Oh, we're gonna go scratch those rims. You know, like, what the fuck's the matter with you? Come on. You know, I wasn't raised that way. To be honest with you, if somebody in my family or somebody in our community was successful, if they succeeded in something, we all were happy for that person. In my neighborhood, that's how it worked. We might be Mexicans, but we weren't that stupid. But then there was these Mexicans that always fucked it all up. They think that they're better than anybody else because they have a bigger truck or that they have a Bronco. Come on, give me a fucking break. But in my neighborhood, you see, what we did was, if somebody succeeded, a lot of hardworking people in my neighborhood, a lot of hardworking dads, hardworking moms, they go to work 6 in the morning, they come back at 5 at night. These were hardworking individuals. And when somebody got a promotion, somebody succeeded, or somebody opened their own business, we felt in our neighborhood that we all succeeded, that all of us succeeded, because that person helped us in many ways. And they did. Where I grew up, we had a close-knit community where neighbors can depend on anybody else. The problem was that everybody was nosy. And that's how everybody found out I was a homo. Being all nosy, picking into my room, seeing what I was doing. You didn't want to see what I was doing. Golly. I was having the time of my life in that neighborhood. But we have to really grow up on this. Sean Hannity, if stupid morons, Sean Hannity come out like this, and they say, "Oh, we now support immigration reform." You gotta really look at yourself. Is this how superficial we have become? Because it's not just immigration reform. Or is it just that? I'm guessing there are other bigger issues than just immigration reform for the Mexicans. It's education, economic reforms, business reforms. We want more opportunities for small businesses. All these kinds of things. And would Sean Hannity support that? Of course not. It's all bullshit. What do you expect? What do you expect from some guy who graduated from a high school graduate? I'm not that against people who are high school graduate. Believe me, a lot of Mexicans, majority of them are high school graduates, and that's it. But don't act so fucking important. Don't act like you're fucking Einstein on your fucking little pathetic show on Fox News. You know, because when I said to myself, gee, one day maybe I want to be a news anchor. That was one of my dreams. And be on television. Maybe I could do that. And then my dad said, oh, come here, son. You'll have to go to college. You got to go to university. You got to go to university. You got to go to college. You got to get education. And then you go to be news anchor. Okay? Okay. And then he just starts whistling. Reading the fucking paper. Oh, daddy. So I thought to myself, hey, you know, he's right. You have to go to school. You have to go to journalism school or something like that. You have to go to college. And you have to get those degrees to be on the television. But then I see this little fuck twat, Sean Hannity, a high school graduate. And look at me with fucking 2 degrees. Look where I am at. Fucking YouTube. That's fine. I don't need Fox News. I don't need to be there with all those FCC rules. I'll be fired the first day. Sean Hannity. He thinks he's so fucking important, right? But I don't know what these white Catholics are thinking. I don't know what they're thinking. Because it wasn't that long ago where Catholics were being persecuted. So, they're the ones that were being looked at weird by all these white Anglicans. Remember that? The turn of the last century, Catholic immigrants coming in from Europe, and there was a lot of problems in New York. Catholics being bullied, persecuted, being discriminated against. Oh, do you remember that? Of course you don't, because you weren't living there. That wasn't your time. That was your grandfather's. And they were being discriminated against for being a Catholic immigrant. The same thing happened to them that happens to my people, is that they were being discriminated against not only by whites or quote American, Anglo-American mainstream Anglicans or Protestants, but they were being discriminated against by their own people, by Catholics. The same thing with Mexicans, which are Catholic as well. Not all of them, but most of them are. And that's what happens to a lot of Mexicans too. They came here into this country, they try to succeed, they try to make a living, trying to raise a family. Raise a family and a little gay guy on the side. That was my case. But they're trying to succeed in life, and and there are other Mexicans who are the ones who are discriminated against you because of the competition. No, my son's gonna go to the better school than your son. No, I'm gonna buy the better car than you are. Oh, I'm gonna throw the biggest quinceañera this neighborhood has ever seen than you have. The fuck is this? Oh, quinceañeras, that's another shit I want to deal with. I'll deal with it some other time. But spending 10 grand on a fucking quinceañera, what the fuck is that? The hell is that about? Spending all that fucking money on shit. No wonder my people were fucking screwed. We let ourselves down. And you might say, well, Jose, this tradition, and traditions are... Yeah, but there's something you have to let go. And be better than what we used to be. Is that a possibility someday that we can be better than what we used to be? Is that a possibility anymore? Is that something that we can strive for? Is that gone? Because my father would tell me, one day you're going to have a job that's better than me. Of course I'm going to have a job that's better than you, Dad. I'm in America. What do you expect? And now Mexico is almost catching up to us. Look at that. Now, if you're worried about Mexicans coming over, crossing the border to get amnesty, you're pretty wrong. Crossings across the border have dropped, illegal crossings, and I read a lot of Mexican news from Mexico directly. TV Azteca, a better, much more influential and much more intelligent network than Univision. And they're talking about the fact that many Mexicans just don't want to come here anymore for various reasons. And that's fine, it's their decision. And that's why I think that if we have amnesty right now, it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't be. At all. I don't think it should be. Some people want to make it a problem with that. That's because they're saying, oh, if we open up the gates, it's gonna flood in. No, the overwhelming majority of Mexicans want to stay where they are because of logistics and all that, and because of family. They don't want to separate their families. They just want to stay where they are. Some of them might come over because they want to have a different opportunity, but some, not all. So I mean, that's really what it comes down to. But Sean Hannity, let me just say, this is again just more tap dancing. It just, I don't really take it seriously, and nobody should, because if they can flip flop so easily, so quick like that after the election results in which they lost, do we expect to take them seriously? Of course not. They're full of shit. That's what they're just full of shit.